which, like I said, will be the Snyder cut of Justice League. Will it finally come out? And we got an update. So for the longest, ever since Justice League dropped, and it was, I guess you could say, kind of like below expectations. It was not what everybody expected to be. You know, some people on the spectrum, either they liked it, they didn't like it, or they were kind of in between about it. But everything that came out about Justice League just wasn't spectacular. And behind the scenes, all the chaos that went on with it, with you know, WB not having faith within Zack Snyder, and you know, him having like his personal issues with his daughter passing away, so he left the directing duties up to Joss Whedon, which basically he came in and did some reshoots and rewriting of the script, and which gave us the birth of this Frankenstein of a movie that is called Justice League. And ever since then, ever since we've been hearing that there is a different version of the movie that is out, or you know, that's just locked away with Zack Snyder's handprints all over it, and certain things that came out throughout the years of what it entailed, from different things that Steppenwolf did up in the movie, and how his inevitable ending came about, how Darkseid appeared in the movie, how the Green Lanterns was in the movie, and just all this crazy stuff, and how they were going to go a totally different direction, but because of the way things went, it ended up giving us what we got. And so recently, as of literally this year, after years of campaigning a hashtag release the Snyder cut for Justice League, and it's not like an ongoing thing, it's just constantly, you know, every now and then it gets new updates. And so it came out that Zack Snyder had screened a private screening for the execs at DC for the Justice League Snyder cut and everything that goes along with it. Now, a lot of speculation goes along with it. Is are they trying to plan a release of the Snyder cut? Will it have a theatrical release? Or a lot of people are speculating that it will drop on HBO Max. And as we know right now, you know, the movie isn't like completely done. You know, a lot of VFX and all that stuff needs to be done to the movie. So there's going to be millions of dollars that need to be poured into this movie in order to bring it into fruition and bring it out for our viewing pleasure. And that is kind of like hard to do right now with the quarantine and everything else, because of just photography that needs to be done for the movie still and everything else. And so when that came out, got people buzzing. And this happened back in February 6th, to be exact. And I don't know, like, just depending on how you look at it, if you were pro Snyder cut and all that stuff and you really wanted to see it, then, you know, this would be really exciting. And all this information was confirmed by Heroic Hollywood, but it has no details really that came about it. So, like I said, all this is speculation. We don't know if they are planning on doing a release of the Snyder cut on HBO Max or whatever. But that was just something that they had planned. And then not even that long after that, like weeks after that, Snyder gave a film slate prize to this winner of this Justice League poster contest or whatnot. And what it basically says is that it promised the person who wins the prize to be on set for any additional photography for the Snyder cut of Justice League. And that got people more up in the uproar. So it's like, will it come out? It looks like it's going to possibly come out. There were maybe plans coming out that they were going to, you know, put some money into it and get this release, since a lot of people are like clamoring for it. And I am very curious to see it. The only thing that I have about this whole situation is that people don't know really what they want. You know, curiosity is a bitch. We all, including myself, are curious about what the Snyder cut looked like. Is it better than, you know, the original? It has to be better than the, you know, what we got in theaters and all that stuff. But the question hasn't arisen, like, what if it's not better than what we got? What if it's like at the same level? And even if it is better, what if it's just a tiny bit better? What if it's not anything that blows our socks off? Now, we've heard descriptions from like Kevin Smith about everything that entails, and it sounds all badass. You know, it was going to be a multi-film, you know, arc that they wasn't just going to have this. Like, literally, if you go back at the slate at one time that DC put out and Warner Brothers put out, that they were going to have Justice League, I believe it was going to be a year apart. So it was going to be Justice League Part 1 and then Justice League Part 2. So they had something in place that along the way, because of just how the movie started to turn out, they started to course correct and try and figure out what they're going to do. They needed to change some stuff. And then with Zack Snyder exiting it, it gave them the perfect opportunity to kind of rework things. And it's just, that's the only thing that I'm kind of fearing, is that even though we've heard all this stuff about how what the movie includes, and you know, it kind of gets you hyped because you don't know. You've seen Justice League, you underwhelmed, this and that, so you like, it can't be worse than what we got. Honestly, it can. Honestly, it can. But I mean, what if it's not good? Regardless, what, you know, we're supposed to, up in the Snyder Cut, Green Lantern's in there, Martian Manhunter is said to be up in there. Steppenwolf was supposedly died at the end of it, head cut off in a boom tube with Darkseid looking at the Justice League. You know, and it said also that that Darkseid was supposed to be kind of like a little bit more in that movie as well, with a younger version of Darkseid going against Ares, the god of war. And it's just, I don't know, it seems like it has a lot going into it. Like, I don't know, it just seems like there is like kind of too much going into that one movie, especially so soon. So that's what kind of got me thinking, what if it's not as good? But in any case, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. A lot of people that have seen the movie said that they, for what it is right now, without the visual effects and all that stuff, they actually did like it. You know, so I don't know. Like, I'm curious. I'm game if they put the money to it, because it's gonna be a lot of money. I mean, if they're willing to drop the bread after all this quarantine and actually get the stuff done that they need to get done for the release of it. More than likely going to be on streaming. For one, don't expect it to affect the BVS universe. Don't expect it. This is mainly just going to be a different version of the BVS universe Justice League that's put out just for the hell of it, because we want it. It's not going to be anything that's going to be a game changer, and they're not going to go from there. So a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie, it more than likely isn't going to happen in a later film. So, and if it does, I'll be surprised. But other than that, I am game. I am game for whatever they do. And more than likely, if they end up doing something, it's going to have to happen once everything really starts opening back up. But, well, we'll see. We'll see.